Some people are also surprised. This Jacob, his son-in-law, is really so good. Can the Song family be so polite to him? Jacob's heart at this moment is also very proud. He didn't expect that even though he didn't bring his son-in-law could still help him grow a face. With this attitude of Boyu today, in the circle of classmates, no one should dare to underestimate him. At this moment, Paul also took the car to his company, Smith Law Firm. Americans and Chinese act in different styles. Chinese seldom use their own names to name companies, because the Chinese as a whole still believe in acting low-key, obscure, and not too public. The whole should highlight a modest way of doing things. However, Americans are generally very high profile. Well-known American companies are basically named after their founders. For example, the famous Boeing Company is a super aerospace group that produces passenger aircraft, military aircraft and space shuttles. It was named Boeing because of their founder, William Edward Boeing. It is equivalent to the founder using his surname as the name of the company. Another example is the world-renowned hotel company Hilton Group. Its founder is Conrad Hilton. This family is also the famous Hilton family. Paul's full name is Paul Smith. Paul is his first name, and Smith is his family name. Since his father founded this law firm, he named it Smith Law Firm after his family name. Smith Law Firm has been well known internationally after many years of hard work by Paul's father. So this time Paul moved his office to Orus Hill and directly chose the best CBD area in Orus Hill for the company's location. And he chose the most prosperous and top-notch office building, Gemdale Building. The Gemdale Building, with 58 floors, is the best and top 5-star office building in Orus Hill. Basically all the top enterprises in Orus Hill and the country and even the world can settle in the Gemdale Building. Because Paul Smith's law firm is also very well known, and it serves all of the world's top 500 companies, they also pay great attention to their appearance. It is worth mentioning that the Emgrand Group, which Wade family bought for Charlie, is the largest group company in Orus Hill, and it is mainly based on real estate. The Emgrand Group owns a number of high-end office buildings in Orus Hill, and these office buildings are operated by the Emgrand Group itself and have not been sold. This includes the entire Gemdale Building. Charlie was a little surprised when he heard that Paul chose the company in the Gemdale Building. Unexpectedly, he chose his property by such a coincidence. But think about it carefully. The Gemdale Building is the best office building in Orus Hill. A law firm like his is in need of a sufficient facade, so there is no other option except Gemdale Building. After he had lunch at home, he took a taxi to Gemdale Building. Paul's law firm is on the 27th floor of the Gemdale Building. He took the elevator directly to the 27th floor. Paul was already waiting for him at the elevator entrance. When he saw Charlie, Paul was very, very polite, and he came forward and said politely, "Oh, Mr. Charlie, it's really hard for you to come here." Charlie smiled slightly and said to Paul, "It's just a matter of raising your hand, don't be so polite." Paul invited Charlie to walk in and said, "Mr. Charlie, I had already let someone rent the 27th floor of this building a few months ago, and the renovation started immediately. Now the renovation is basically fast. The construction is completed. How about the overall feng shui? Is there anything that is not suitable, and if so, how to modify it?" Charlie probably read it once, and soon found out that Paul had a very careful feng shui layout here. He smiled and said, "Paul, you seem to have seen an expert here, right? I think you have set up this entry point. The Jusai Feng Shui Bureau can gather wealth. There is a disaster avoidance feng shui bureau in the main hall. For legal business like yours, this type of feng shui bureau can avoid disputes to the greatest extent. Overall, it is very good." Paul exclaimed and said, "Mr. Charlie, you are really smart. You can see my feng shui arrangement at a glance." Charlie said calmly, "Paul, your mother and my father-in-law have been classmates for so many years, so you don't have to be too polite with me. But I'm very curious, since you have already found someone here to see feng shui, Why do you invite me? Paul did not hide it at all, and said frankly, "It is true. Yesterday I invited you to help me see feng shui, mainly to see if you really have the true talents in this area. Now it seems to be abrupt. Please forgive me, Mr. Charlie." Paul was really curious about Charlie. From the beginning, he thought Charlie belonged to the Wade family of Eastcliff. Later, even though Charlie let him dispel this doubt, the title of Mr. Charlie still gave Paul a new name. Doubt. Asking Charlie to come over and show himself feng shui is actually Paul's one-step temptation. He has already asked someone to watch feng shui specifically here. If Charlie couldn't tell after he came that the feng shui bureau had already been set up here, it would prove that he didn't have such a level. But if Charlie can see the feng shui bureau here after coming, it will prove that Charlie's level is extraordinary. Paul did not expect that Charlie could see all the feng shui layouts here at a glance. The previous master also watched for a long time and studied for a long time before thinking about and laying out these.